Does hair loss medication work to restore the hair? And here is a picture of my hair before I started with medication, and here is a picture of me after I started with medication. And medication I'm talking about is Finasteride. And in today's video I'm going to talk about my timeline. We'll talk about my results of taking Finasteride, on my experience with taking Finasteride, on how I take it, when I take it, and also share with you a couple of tips in terms of Finasteride. And for you guys who are new to the channel, my name is Alex. I'm previously hair loss sufferer who was able to regrow back my own hair, and I'm also certified trichologist. So in today's video, let's talk about hair loss medication Finasteride. And Finasteride is something that I started to take it myself back in October 2008. And basically what happened is that I had severe hair loss that was going on for several years, and I got to the point where I was desperate to address it and solve it. So basically when I was 24 years old, I went to the doctor and asked for him to have a prescription for Finasteride because my hair was falling out rapidly and I was losing so much gain. And basically what happened next is that he looked at my scalp, he looked at my hair, and he saw that I had diffuse thinning. Basically hair falling out for me was on the top part of my scalp, and he prescribed me Finasteride because Finasteride is for adrenal alopecia. So basically it means that one has a high DHT sensitivity, and I got a prescription of Finasteride and I started to take it. And right from the beginning I started to cut my Finasteride pills in half. And I do take brand Propecia, so there is like a 1 mg pills. And one of the reasons I started to cut the pills in half was basically that I was kind of concerned about long-term side effects of taking this kind of medication, because it is a medication that is a commitment for a long time, as long as one wants to keep the hair. And other thing was that there was economical reasons to it as well, because it's more cost effective or cutting the pill in half. And basically what happened next is that a couple of weeks into taking Finasteride, noticed that there was a bit more shedding compared to before, because my shed already was very high. Like basically just by taking quickly over my hands through my hair, I could see so many hairs falling out. And when I was applying shampoo, even gently applying my shampoo, I would see 20-30 hairs on my palms each time. So that was basically something that already was a huge concern for me. And then that increased shedding from Finasteride was something that I knew could happen, because doctor back then told me that there could be some shed right in the beginning of the treatment. So I was kind of aware of it, but it just only lasted for a couple of weeks. So basically after a round of having increased shedding for 2-3 weeks, things started to reduce. So basically my shed started to reduce to the point where I actually was happy and relaxed about my shed, because up until then I was so concerned and so worried about my hair loss and all the shed I was seeing, that basically seeing that there was less shed after I started taking Finasteride, I was happy. Like I knew that, okay, this was actually having some effect on my hair, and I didn't even expect to see results from taking medication. I just was happy that there was no hair loss. And as months went by, basically what happened is that around 4 months mark, this was around beginning of February 2009, I noticed that there was some improvements to my hair. Like what happened is that I noticed that my hair started to look a bit thicker, and there was signs that was the hair itself basically had become more healthy, and there was a bit more of them. And here are a couple of pictures for you guys just to show you what happened in February 2009. And you can see that there was improvements compared to before. And this was very encouraging, right? Because I knew that, okay, this is actually not just stop my hair fall, but actually helped improve my hair. And so I just keep continuing taking that medication, Finasteride. And a couple months into 2009, so this was around May 2009, I noticed that I was able to start to style my hair, and it actually looked quite well. And basically from there on, things just kept improving, right? So basically I had good results all 2009, and the same continued in 2010. And here is a couple of pictures of me during 2010 as well, like just to show you as a reference what kind of results I was able to achieve. And basically what happened is that after 24 months mark, like 2 years into taking Finasteride, I was able to achieve those kind of results, right? So those are basically my peak results from taking Finasteride. And just to kind of talk about my experience and how do I take it. So as I told earlier, I do cut the pills in half, so I microdose Finasteride. I don't take whole pill. And as I said before, there's a couple of reasons for it, mainly because of the cost effectiveness, but also possibility for long-term effects or negative effects on my health. Another thing is that in terms of Finasteride as well, like I always take it at the same time. Like I try to take it in the evening time around 8 p.m. every day, and I take it basically after meal, right? So that's kind of way I do it. And when it comes to finasteride itself, it is important consistency, right? So if you want to stay consistent, you want to take it frequently, you want to take it in a same time, because it also makes it more simple to remember it, right? So this is important as well. And also in terms of questions that I get a lot about finasteride, is there any long-term side effects from it? And I haven't experienced any side effects from taking finasteride. Now it's 16 years of taking finasteride on daily basis, and I haven't had any issues with it. And in terms of effectiveness of finasteride, like finasteride will stay effective if you have a genital alopecia and nothing else to it. But if you do get some other underlying problems, like for example, what happened in my case is that I got the inflammatory problems in my scalp, and what happened next is that all the results I was able to get from finasteride, they basically fall out again because of the scalp inflammation. And the other thing is that, for example, if there is, let's say, gut problems, nutritional deficiencies, like all those factors will make finasteride much less effective, and it will affect basically what kind of results you will be able to achieve. Because when I was having my peak results from finasteride, I didn't have those underlying problems. But once I get those underlying problems, all the results from finasteride medication itself become ineffective. Like it just stopped working, because it's a completely different issue, right? So if you do start with medications such as finasteride, make sure that you don't have any underlying problem, because it just will affect the treatment, it will affect its effectiveness, and it will also affect the results you will be able to achieve. So this is important, remember. And I also get the questions often about hair shedding on finasteride. So I did have a shedding from finasteride in the beginning when I first started with it, right? But during the years when I have been taking finasteride, like there is some like a seasonal shed, so to say, on some, for example, some sheds that happens during the year, for example, but that shed should be short term, like have a short duration, and usually it is not something that lasts longer from 1 to 2 weeks, right? And that's a very short shed. That happens, for example, for me, maybe every 3 months and maybe every 6 months. Like I don't even notice it, because it is very short, and there is a bit more shed than compared to before. And if your shed is increasing, for example, in seasonal change, or there is a more shed that lasts longer, then there is likely some kind of underlying problems that's going on. For example, in terms of seasonal shed, there could be, for example, that your scalp gets out of balance, and that causes that there is more shed, for example, and it may not necessarily be directly related to DHT or effectiveness of finasteride. Another thing is that what you have to be very aware of is that if you are having some factors that affect your hair growth cycle or affect your DHT sensitivity, it will also make treatment less effective, right? So make sure that your hair cycle stays strong, right? You want to have a strong hair growth cycle, and you also want to be sure that there is no other factors that causes higher DHT sensitivity, which can affect effectiveness of the finasteride. Because if you want to keep your gains, if you want to basically stay and get peak results from finasteride, like I was able to get, then you have to be sure that you stay as little DHT sensitive as possible, because it's not enough just to block it. You also want to stay as little DHT sensitive as possible, and you also want to do things to improve your hair growth cycle. And in terms of hair growth cycle, like basically what you can do to make it stronger, like doing workouts, doing, for example, sports, like it does help to make hair cycle stronger. And in terms of DHT sensitivity, making sure that you have a clean diet, that you are aware of stress factors, that you are having a good sleep patterns, like those are important for DHT sensitivity, and basically making sure that there is no toxins, for example, because they do affect and they can cause increased DHT sensitivity, which will make, again, treatment with, for example, finasteride much less effective. So those are my experience of taking finasteride, and it, like I said, it did work very well for me for 24 months, up until the point where I got scalp inflammatory problems, and then it just stopped working, and I lost all my gains, and I had to restart all over again. And basically what happened is that I solved my scalp inflammatory problems, I solved my gut problems, and the problems that was causing my hair to fall out, and you can see that I have my hair to this day. So for you guys who basically struggle with the hair loss and you are looking for specific steps in terms of recovery of the hair loss, you can schedule a call below this video. There is a link for it. Let's speak. Let's see what is holding you back, why you are not having results from treatment, why your hair are falling out, what you can do right now to recover from the hair loss once and for all. Speak soon.